Sorry if I look a little crazy. I've just been like resting because I got my flu shot today. First time getting a shot on my own, which is kind of crazy. I'm very proud of myself because I hate shots and I freak out and I always need to like lean on someone and like hide. But I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about some fall books, movies, TVs, shows that I've been watching. In terms of shows, I've been watching Gilmore Girls. I've been watching that since like August and I'm now on season 5. I'm like just finishing season 5, basically on season 6, but it's been really good so far. I really like it. I definitely think the earlier seasons were more entertaining for me, like as of now. I don't know, I feel like it has more like nostalgia, and I feel like when Rory's at home it's nicer, and college Rory is definitely different and very interesting, but I feel like the earlier seasons have more of like that fall cozy vibe. It's very much a show that feels more refreshing, I guess, in terms of the kinds of content being produced now. I feel like now it's like very artistic and very like high production and like high skills, which is like obviously great and all, but I don't know, sometimes you just want like something that's cozy, that feels good, it's overall like a happy show, you know? I definitely have been really enjoying it, and also this is the first time I'm watching Gilmore Girls. My friends like finally got me to watch it after pushing me to watch it for so long. They knew I'd like it, I knew I'd probably enjoy it, and here we are, me enjoying it. But yeah, I will update once I like fully finish the show. I think that would be fun to do. Another thing I don't think I've mentioned yet on my channel is Only Murders in the Building. This show is with Selena Gomez, Martin Short, and Steve Martin. Did I get those names right? I know they're like all pretty famous, so I probably should know their names, but I'm so bad with celebrities. I will tell you, I am Selena Gomez biased because I've loved everything she's been in, from Barney to Wizards of Waverly Place to Monte Carlo to Princess Protection Pro. Like everything she's been in has been amazing as far as I can remember, and this is just another edition. This is basically surrounding a podcast of murders in the building, as the name suggests, and they kind of are like doing like this whole murder mystery type of thing, and it's set in New York, but they like live in like this really cool building, and it's definitely fall vibes. I absolutely loved it. There are 2 seasons out currently, and each season has like 10-11 episodes around there, so I definitely recommend watching it if you haven't. Overall, it feels very cozy and funny, and just the dynamics between everyone is great. And then also I started The Empress, and I don't know if you guys are interested in like this genre of TV shows, I guess, but I think it's definitely a little bit more niche. But I feel like with Bridgerton it's become more mainstream. The whole like historical, like royal shows. There's a word for it, but I just can't think of it. Bridgerton is obviously one of those. I also love The Great. I literally recommend that to everyone. I've loved that show since it like came out. Love Victoria, which I feel like is sometimes one of those like school shows, like they show it to you in school and then it's just kind of like, okay, whatever. But I adore that show. I've like rewatched that show so many times, and I'm so sad it like never really caught a lot of traction. Like I think it's like kind of not gonna do additional seasons anymore. Yeah, so I did start The Empress, which I didn't realize was like a dubbed show. Like I thought it was like fully made in English, but I think it's I don't want to get the language it's normally in wrong, but I'll put it here. But it does come dubbed and subbed on Netflix, and I am about halfway through the show, like what's out right now. I think there's only 6 episodes out as of now. I've been really liking it. It's definitely the same sort of things that we get in those types of shows. I feel like a lot of it is very like anticipated, but I think the thing that's quite different about this one than the other ones that I've watched are the female like main character, the Empress, right? I did some like background digging on her, and she's most famous for like her image, like fashion sense and her beauty, and like she went through like a lot of stuff related to like appearance and youth and like beauty standards, all that kind of stuff. I think I'm like intrigued by that element, but I will say it's a lot of the same sort of tropes and styles and things. Like it very much reminds me of Victoria, but also like elements of The Great in a way, but like definitely not as like crude. But I'm interested to see as they continue to watch and as they maybe continue to produce the show what happens with it, because so far the shows that I've watched that follow the female main character is a political like dominant figure. They have like a political significance, but this seems like it might take more of like a timid route in terms of like how much she's involved in the politics and more in like how she's like a cultural image, a pop culture moment, I guess. We'll see how this goes, and I will also keep you updated on that. For movies, I'm actually not going to talk about movies yet because I have a few big ones that are coming up that I'm supposed to be watching in the near future, so maybe I'll talk about those later. Okay, books. I have not been reading as much as I was in the summer for obvious reasons. I'm so much more busy, but I did finish A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J Maas. This is part of the ACOTAR series. If you don't know what ACOTAR is, it's kind of like a fantasy series. You follow a human who like gets introduced to the Fae world and you kind of explore it. I definitely liked her story, but this book actually follows her sister, Nesta, who is interesting because she has the most developed character in my sense, but she is still like pretty, like she was at the beginning of this book pretty unlikable for me. So getting into the book was kind of like 800 pages of her story, you know? You just kind of like follow her through her life and you see like her mental health and all of that, and she kind of has like a progression in her character, and it's like a healing time for her, and also Cassian is there. The main selling point for the series is Rysand for me. He's not in this book as mentioned, like it's not the same. ACOMAF was definitely my favorite of the series and it still remains my favorite, but I would say this is like a pretty close second. It was good. You know, I think what happened was while I was waiting for this book to come out in paperback, you know, I spent like the entire summer reading Throne of Glass. One, I think this book was a little bit overhyped by everyone else. Like I saw so many people like raving about this book. They were like going crazy over it, but it wasn't like my favorite. But I will say the fall vibes are definitely there. Like I felt really autumnal for some reason reading this. Second thing I wanted to say is after reading Throne of Glass, I have realized the thing that I think most people think of the ACOTAR series. Throne of Glass, the characters feel better, the plot feels better, just everything feels better. And it's not like ACOTAR is bad, right? Like I think people do make the argument that it is, and everyone's free to have their own opinions and, you know, make their own critiques. Okay, my phone just died on me, so I'm going to continue this on my laptop because I don't want to lose momentum on what I was saying, but obviously the quality has decreased significantly, so sorry about that. The main female characters in ACOTAR are more dislikable because they feel like kind of more flat, and I don't know, there's just some like qualities that don't feel as strong as the main characters in Throne of Glass. Feyre just is a little not my favorite. She's giving strong pick-me energy as well. I am currently now reading Tower of Dawn. I'm like only like 30 pages in, and I'm just like, I feel better getting back into Throne of Glass, even though this is like Kale's book, which, you know, Kale, I call him Kale Salad. This book is like straight following him, and it's kind of like a parallel storyline to a previous book, which was Empire of Storms. So yeah, I'm interested in it, and I'm like kind of happy to be reading this series again. I still love ACOTAR and all, but I wanted less of Nesta and more of Rysand. Sorry, that's my red flag, I guess. I don't know. That's just a little update on what I've been watching and reading. So yeah.